I always believed in kindness. I held doors open, said please and thank you, and ran a small-town bakery where locals knew me by name. What I didn't expect was that someone would try to destroy everything I built for money, attention, and entitlement. Her name was Karen Worthington, and she made the biggest mistake of her life when she slipped in my store and screamed, "I'm going to sue you for everything you've got." Too bad she didn't see the security camera right above her, because once the judge hit rewind, the truth shattered her story like sugar glass. My name's Daniel Cross, and I run Sugar and Steam, a cozy little cafe bakery just outside of Asheville, North Carolina. The place used to belong to my mom, who passed it to me after her health declined. Every shelf, every recipe, every custom mug had a story. Locals loved it. Tourists stumbled in for the homemade cinnamon buns. We had regulars who tipped in vegetables from their gardens. It was the kind of place where people left their phones on the table and trusted strangers not to take them. And then she walked in. Karen came in mid-morning, dressed like she was about to shoot a TikTok influencer dance. Tight pastel tracksuit, oversized sunglasses, and a dog in a designer bag. She strutted in, loudly announcing, "Do you have gluten-free, sugar-free, caffeine-free lattes?" I smiled politely. "We've got a great oat milk chai, if that works." She rolled her eyes. "Ugh, fine." The dog barked. She barked louder. I chalked it up to a weird tourist, until she came in the next day and the next. Then she started complaining. "Your chairs are too close together. There's a weird smell. Is that baking bread? This floor looks slippery. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen." At first, I thought she was joking. She wasn't. It happened 2 weeks later. The cafe was packed. We had a bluegrass trio playing, the espresso machine was hissing, and I was at the register helping a teenager pick out a pastry. Then came the scream. "Ah!" A thud. Then gasps. Karen was on the floor, groaning, one hand clutching her ankle, the other dramatically thrown over her head like she was auditioning for a soap opera. Her tiny dog yipped beside her. People rushed over. "Oh my God, are you okay? I think she slipped. Call 911." I pushed through the crowd. She looked me dead in the eye and growled, "You'll be hearing from my lawyer." The ambulance came. Karen wailed like she had broken her entire leg. Next day, I got served. A $500,000 personal injury lawsuit, claiming negligent flooring maintenance, psychological trauma, loss of mobility and social engagement. She claimed she couldn't walk without pain, that she might never dance again, that her dog was traumatized. My insurance agent called in a panic. "You could lose everything." I almost did, because in small claims court, perception is reality, and Karen played it perfectly. Court date came. Karen arrived in a wheelchair, leg wrapped like a mummy, dark sunglasses on inside the building. She sobbed as she told the judge, "I slipped on a puddle of milk. There were no warning signs. The staff just stood there, laughing." She pulled out a crumpled tissue and dabbed her eyes. The crowd murmured. Even the bailiff looked uncomfortable. And me? I stood there silently. Until the judge said, "Mr. Cross, do you have anything to say in your defense?" I nodded. "Your Honor, I'd like to present security footage from 3 different angles, time-stamped, audio included." Karen froze. The courtroom went still. The judge plugged in the USB. Footage began playing on the courtroom monitor. Scene: Karen pacing back and forth inside the cafe, clearly agitated. She looks towards the register, sees everyone is busy, and then she glances towards the security camera and smirks. The courtroom gasped. Then she reached into her purse, pulled out a small bottle of water, and poured it on the floor. She stepped back, waited, adjusted her bag, then dove to the floor. Not slipped, not tripped, dove like a swimmer off a block. Even her dog looked confused. The footage cut to another angle, Karen laying down, adjusting her legs and curling them into position and snapping a selfie. The judge hit pause. Silence. "Miss Worthington?" The judge said slowly, turning to her. "Is that you deliberately pouring liquid onto the defendant's floor before collapsing?" Karen stuttered. That doesn't show the whole story." "Would you like me to continue the footage?" Karen's face turned crimson. She shrank in her chair. I'd like to drop the suit." Too late.
Not only was her case dismissed with prejudice, the judge referred it for criminal fraud investigation. False claims, falsified injury, insurance fraud. I didn't even need to speak again. The judge looked at me, smiled, and said, "Mr. Cross, I apologize on behalf of this courtroom. Please continue making cinnamon rolls and exposing clowns." The crowd chuckled. Even the bailiff laughed. Karen was wheeled out by her own attorney, not for injury, but out of shame. Turns out, a court clerk leaked the video. Don't ask me how. Within hours, it went viral under the caption, "Caught in 4K, Karen fakes fall, gets wrecked in court." TikTok, Reddit, Facebook, local news. I got interviews, business boomed. People drove hours just to say, "You're the bakery guy who caught Karen on camera." I had to start selling "I didn't slip, I'm just clumsy" mugs. Sales tripled. Karen disappeared from town. Rumors said she moved back in with her parents in Florida. The state pressed charges. Her credit tanked. Her dog's Instagram lost 10,000 followers. Justice wasn't just served, it was baked into a cupcake and delivered with frosting. Sometimes life throws you a lemon. Other times, it throws you a Karen. And when it does, don't panic. Don't yell. Don't fight dirty. Just hit record. Because the best defense isn't a lawyer. It's a security camera and the truth, played frame by frame in front of a judge who knows when someone's full of it. So if you're ever falsely accused, remember, she cried in court. Then the judge rewound the tape. After the court case and viral explosion, Sugar and Steam wasn't just a bakery anymore. It was a landmark. Tourists would walk in, pointing at the exact spot Karen faked her fall and ask, "Is that the floor?" I finally leaned into the attention. I had a local artist paint a small gold star on the tile with a cheeky label, "Here fell Karen, the untruthful, Est 2025. People loved it. We sold "Don't Slip, Don't Sue" shirts. We renamed our chocolate drizzle donut to the Fraud Glaze Special. It wasn't just funny. It was a form of healing. Locals who'd been sued, harassed, or belittled by people like Karen came in and smiled. One woman, a retired schoolteacher, leaned in one morning and said, "She messed with the wrong man and the right camera." 6 months later, a quiet visit came from Karen's old roommate, someone who had watched everything from the sidelines. She sat across from me, sipping a spiced chai, and sighed. "She's done this before," she said. "Not a fall, but drama. Court threats, emotional manipulation." Apparently, Karen had tried similar tactics at 3 different spas, and even once at a yoga studio that denied her a refund. Each time she got away with it. Until me. "She's always counted on people being too scared to fight back," she said. "You weren't." I didn't know whether to feel pity or disgust, but I did know one thing. She'd never try it again. 6 months later, a woman walked in around closing time. Early 60s, smartly dressed, gentle smile. She asked to speak privately. "I'm Karen's mother," she said quietly. I stiffened. "I'm not here to apologize for her," she said. "I tried, she never listened, but I wanted to say thank you." "Thank you?" I asked, confused. "You finally held her accountable, and I think she needed that more than anything." She placed a small box on the counter and slid it to me. "From me, not her, this belongs to someone honest. Someone who actually earns what they have." Inside was a handwritten letter and a silver antique spoon with my bakery's name engraved in it. "She never knew I ordered this before she burned that bridge too," the mother said. "But it belongs to someone honest, someone who actually earns what they have." Then she left, just like that. And for the first time, I felt something for Karen I didn't expect. Closure. People always ask me, "Why do you think the video went viral?" It wasn't just the fall or the courtroom reveal, it was the catharsis. We've all met a Karen, someone who abuses rules, twists the truth, and bullies with confidence. And deep down, we dream of someone calmly, legally, righteously reversing the power. When people saw that courtroom footage, the fake fall, the water bottle, the selfie, and then saw justice served instantly, it was more than content. It was a collective exhale. I'm still the same guy. Still bake muffins at 5 a.m., still clean the espresso machine by hand, but I've learned a few lessons. Keep receipts, especially video ones. People who weaponize victimhood eventually meet someone who won't flinch. And most importantly, kindness doesn't mean weakness. You can smile and still stand your ground. You can hold the door and still shut down a liar in court. 3 months after the court drama, a local law student came by for a latte. He handed me a folder. "Thought you'd want to see this. It's public record now." Inside were court transcripts. Karen was formally charged with filing a false claim, attempted insurance fraud, and contempt of court. She took a plea deal, community service, and probation. And guess where they placed her for her service? The courthouse janitorial team, mopping the same floors she once rolled across in fake agony. If that's not poetic justice, I don't know what is. So if you're someone who thinks faking pain, faking tears, or faking a lawsuit is a path to riches, just remember one thing. There's always someone watching. There's always a camera, and there's always someone calm enough to let the truth speak for itself. Because when you lie under oath, the judge can always rewind the tape. So the next time someone fakes a fall, fakes the pain, fakes the tears, just smile. Because the truth doesn't shout. It doesn't panic. It doesn't need to argue. The truth just waits for someone to hit rewind. And when it plays, game over, Karen.